Hey, this is Coach Kinsey Shae. This is Bobby Merwin.
Hello.
And we're doing the whole Gen exploration. But today we're going to kind of talk about how communication has changed in the last 30 years. Because, it can be a shit show sometimes. Communication.
Thank you. just throw it out there, Kinsey.
It
It
is.
is. Let's just call. Shoot you straight. It's a shit
Yep.
show.
I have a hat that says shit show supervisor.
That's good.
It is.
Excuse me. I need to speak to the shit show supervisor.
Exactly. Here you go. But
Mhm.
no, we're coming on just talking about Gen X kind of perspective, from a coach perspective, from a counselor perspective, from a woman's
Hi.
perspective. Hello. And a man perspective. So just
Hi.
because having new perspectives on things is key to life, right? And so communication, and a good thing, we'll just pop this on here because I think it's a good dovetail onto our topic.
Okay.
So boomers, shove your feelings down. Gen Zs, talk about your feelings. Gen Y, I'm in therapy for my feelings. And Gen X is, you guys all have feelings? What?
So I got two buddies that I graduated high school with. So they're literally 3 months in age different than me.
Yeah.
And that Gen X slide, you guys got feelings. It fits them to an absolute T.
Right.
They don't talk about feelings. They don't have feelings. There's no feelings here.
Right.
And if I did have a feeling, I get a beer and I wash the feeling down until I don't have the feeling.
Exactly.
Yep. Ugh.
Yep.
Yep.
And a lot of boomers shove your feelings down. Embrace the suck, man. Embrace it.
Oh yeah. That is an army term if there ever was one. I should say military term, but it is, you must embrace the suck.
Yep.
I got a buddy of mine, Dawson, that says that all the time, and he was, in the army. And you got to embrace the suck. So
yeah. And then Z and Y are kind of in the same with this meme anyway. It's like, talk about your feelings. I'm in therapy for my feelings. I think it really just, I'm going to remove it, but I think it just really speaks to how far we've come along with what is commonplace. Because being, Gen X and like the baby boomers, we were very much programmed in our fiber not to talk about our feelings because it's a weakness.
Programmed. Yes, that is you could not have nailed that more. You said that and I can feel it go through me. I actually reverted back to childhood for a second. It's like, you don't need to talk about that. You don't have feelings. Go to your room. You're fine.
Yeah.
And
just to take it a step further, like women, anyway, in my existence, only speak when being spoken to, sit there, be pretty. It was very much your opinion doesn't matter. That's what it meant to me.
Oh, I thought you were telling me to just sit here and be pretty. I was going, I'm doing my best. God, Kinsey, you're so hard on me. I have feelings too. No. I'm Gen X, but I have feelings. Okay. No, just you are right. It was the whole sit there and be pretty thing, and I think that we were on the edge of that.
Yeah.
I think that might have been a few years before us, and definitely a few years before that.
Yeah.
So roles are very different, and acceptance of how people are dealing with things. I mean, this is how I make my living, is trying to square up men and say, hey, look, I understand that you have these feelings, and I understand that you've been taught you don't need to talk about this shit. It's actually not true if you have somebody that you can rely on and bounce some things off of. Flippantly, I have referred to myself as the bartender without the beer. Just come to me and just spit it out. Just put your elbows up on the bar, spit it out, and we'll see what we can come up with. So
And we're not advocating drinking here.
no, I swear to you. And what's funny about that is, you were saying something earlier, and I thought, God, we need to have like a margarita show or something like
I
that.
know.
It's like we had to have beverage during this. That'd be funny. Because I often grab
We
this thing to have a
beverage.
drink,
It's
but
called
I
tea.
am having tea. It is tea.
All on cue.
Yes.
All
Everybody
on-
drink. Let's go.
Woohoo!
Every time they say feelings, take a shot. Oh, don't do
know.
that.
I
People will be
know.
dead by the end of the show.
I know. But the thing is we all have core emotions, right? Everybody thinks that, I don't have emotions, or I have like umpteen billion emotions. But at the end of the day, I call it the emotional onion, because I coach this a lot. And it's like,
Sure.
we have anger. Underneath that, we have pain. Under that, we have fear. Under that, we have regret. Then we get to desire. And then we get to love and appreciation. And you kind of, in how I coach, is we have to kind of peel that onion to get to that love and appreciation. So
yes,
for me, those are like the main core things. Like if you have fear, if you have anger, there's usually pain and fear under that. If you have fear, there's usually regret under that. You know what I mean? Or, just being scared. So I think being post-pandemic, we are in our DNA, we have a lot of fear. We have, and
it's
funny
you'd say DNA and post-pandemic and mRNA. Yes, that's funny.
I know. You got where I was going with that.
I do. I'm a connector. I'm a mover and a shaker. Oh my God. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm going to just take your idea and twist it a tiny bit. I think that we all know that we have feelings. I just think that it depends on what area you came from. You're not sure what to do with that and what was accepted. Could be your age, could be your religion, could be your sex. There's a lot of elements that say, I'm going to suppress this much variables, suppress this much. I'm not going to talk about this much. And then there's the whole, I really literally don't know what to do with it. How many times have I had somebody that has entered into counseling and they're in it 12 minutes? I'm doing a intake, and how, just generic and antiseptic an intake is. I'm reading off of a chart. I'm greetings and whatever, and I say I have to do this, because the insurance companies rule the world, so I have to do this or I'm not counseling you. And I'll get 12 minutes into it and they'll start talking and just lose it, because they finally feel like, oh my God, I can finally get this out. I haven't been able to talk to my husband, my wife. I've never had a counselor. I don't have a preacher. My brother's an asshole, whatever. They can't talk to anybody. So they get to me and they're like, bleh, and they finally get it all out. And I'm thankful that I have the, gift of being able to do this job.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The thing is, like a lot of people, especially with women I coach, they're very much into their emotions, and it's not that they make up emotions, but they think they have more emotions than everybody else. And we all have the same emotions. It's how we anchor those emotions to navigate them, to regulate our body, because regulating your body is just as important as regulating your emotions.
It is. And often it's been said, and I will preface this with, I'm not trying to make a sexist statement, because I think women can do 20 more things better than men can. However, it has been said that women can tend to be emotionally immature. Now, I like to twist that a little bit and say that women are more aware of their emotions, therefore they come out more, and that might be seen as immaturity. I personally don't think that way. I think that if you're going to emote and you're going to share that with somebody and try and find an answer with something, I think that's actually more mature.
It is.
Than holding it in. I find holding it in and not talking to the right person. You don't just have to walk down the street and, see the meter maid and go, I hate my father. That's not going to work. You need to find that right person to go and talk to. And I would think that's the basis of what you and I are trying to do in this whole series, is get people to understand that the problems that you're having, the things that are going through your head, they're not really abnormal. You're having feelings and you're having frustrations. And we would like it if you found a coach, an LPC, psychiatrist, whatever. Just find somebody to bounce some things off of. When you're holding it in, probably not good. Holding it in for a month, that's okay. Holding it in for 27 years, probably not good.
No.
Yeah.
No. Because, I mean, I was brought up very much in a masculine household. But, you know, guys, I had all brothers, and I was very much taught to hold in your emotion. It's a weakness, it's whatever. But I was also taught, you know, that that's not ladylike. I had very gender roles of what was expected of me. So I had very much a tug of war in my body my whole life. You know, so I totally can relate to, because there are women that are in this hyper masculine world, whether it be corporate, whether it be, you know, where they feel they have to be, they can't show emotion because it's a weakness. And they are struggling with their femininity of allowing those emotions out. I'm not saying that it's feminine to have emotions. Please don't. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I know that's not what you're saying. I love that you're clarifying.
Yeah.
I want to take the piss out of that so bad, but I don't want to alienate anybody right now.
Yeah.
But no, I could see that, you know, when you were talking about that, you can see in your face and your expressions and how your voice, you know, fluxes when you're talking about that is a very personal thing to you that you're talking about. Yeah, and people should be able to bounce things off of professionals to see where they stand.
Right.
I mean, we do it. You do it, don't you? I know I do it. I have professionals in my life that I talk to.
I do.
I mean, fortunately, it's like being a mechanic. If I need something worked on and I don't know how to work on it, I go to my buddy, the mechanic, and get it fixed. So, you know, I've got multiple counselors around me that if I go, you know, I might be a counselor, but I'm not sure if I'm thinking about this correctly. I need to sound this off of somebody.
Well, you need somebody to see your blind spots. We all are humans. We all have blind spots. And it's kind of one of those things, like I always tell people, I go, either you hire me or you hire somebody else, but please don't hire a coach that does not have a coach. I mean, please don't, because
right. Please don't hire a coach that doesn't have a coach.
Yeah. I have multiple coaches for different areas, you know, business, with just my emotional, you know, I have different coaches because for me, that's important to me. Yes.
No, it's a good, you know, oh, I'm a blind.
Oh, you just froze up, my friend. That's a funny picture right there. Let me see. But I just, in this time and space, I just really want everyone just to kind of check in with themselves. Are they allowing themselves to really allow their emotions to come through? Whether it be journaling, whether it be talking to a coach or a counselor, whether it be, you know, just allowing yourself to cry, to release it. I was very much brought up in this space where I was very much, you know, conditioned that crying was not safe. If that's you right now, just allow yourself to be, because when you're in your home, when you are by yourself, there's nothing you don't have to worry about what people think. Get your journal out, really delve into how you're feeling. Because when you release it out so that you can fill up with something positive. You can fill yourself up and replenish your soul, your heart, your spirit. So in this time and space, if you're in the where you don't feel safe with your emotions, that is okay. But this is an awareness, my friends. It's an awareness. So I just purely invite you to embrace this awareness that there are tools, there are resources, there are things that you can do to really feel. And it's not about feeling in control. It's just feeling good in your skin. So really take a moment and feel into your body. Let your body speak to you. Your body has so much wisdom. It's super powerful. So in this time and space where there is a lot of uncertainty, know that you have the capacity inside of you. And if you're in the space where you don't know how, or if you have the capacity, there are people like me. There are people like Bobby. Mac, no. And my dog is making so much noise. Come here. And Bobby popped up. Come here, baby. Come here. This is my boy. This is my boy. Yeah. Just embrace it. I mean, even if you like get emotional and you have a pet, they understand, man. They're sensitive. They get it. They get it. So let me, because I think Bobby fell off. So I just texted him, hey, sign back on. I lost you. This is all about being live, my friends. But let's just talk about this for a minute. You know, where are you? I mean, are you in the boomer section where you're shoving down all of your feelings? Are you in the Gen Z? You know, talk about your feelings. Are you in the Gen Y? These are oversimplifications, but it's a good perspective, good awareness. You know, the Gen Y, I'm in therapy for my feelings. Where in Gen X, we felt very much that being in therapy, that was wrong. Seeing a counselor, seeing a coach, that there was something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with seeing somebody about your feelings. Coming from the pandemic, I think we're in a state of grieving ever since the pandemic. I really feel that there are a huge sections of people. Here you go. Here you go.
You went on without me.
I did.
God. I thought I was part of this show.
I know.
Jeez.
I was talking about how, like, after the pandemic, like with emotions, I was kind of going into that, you know, we're in a state of grieving. We're very much in a state of grieving where, you know, initially we were very much angered that we had to stay inside, you know, and I really feel as a whole, as a society, we are in denial. I don't need help. I'm just going to try to go back to the way I was prior. And that never works because our whole foundation of how our brain works has totally shifted from the pandemic. You can't shut down the whole world and expect to go back to the way you were prior.
Sometimes you and I talk about, you know, what we want to do days before we do this, or minutes, depending on how it goes. that's a perfect subject and topic, because I think that the pandemic remolded, let's go with remolded, how people think and process.
Right.
Again, even as a mental health professional, the wrath that I felt from that, and I'm telling you, even just talking about it, it makes me reminisce about
Right.
how incredibly backwards my thinking and my feelings started getting. And counseling's been a very hot thing ever since the pandemic.
It has.
I mean, I
But I
can't
think
open up
I
enough space to see people.
Right. And I think that there's just there's a huge sector of the population that is in total denial. Like, I don't need help.
Mhm.
You know? A-
Oh, without a
And
doubt. Mhm.
so
Mhm.
I mean, there's whenever we grieve a loss of something, we're, for most people, it was a loss of freedom. It was a loss of the
Yeah.
ability to go where
Yeah.
we
Well said.
wanted. Yeah. And to say that
Yeah.
you haven't changed because of it, um, that's denial to a T. I
Mhm.
mean, you can't
Oh, yeah,
go
it
through
is. Truly is.
something. Yeah.
18 months of, oppression in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's gonna have an
So,
effect on you. Absolutely.
yeah. And I think people just aren't ready to communicate about it, because most people, no matter what generation you come from, people don't want to feel that loss of control. Like, they
No.
can't.
No, we all
Yeah.
need to have a certain locus of control. It's part of our innate makeup that we have. We need X amount of religion, we need X amount of love, we need X amount of um control in our lives. And there's a healthy area, and the whole pandemic thing took everybody out of their healthy area
Yeah.
and minimized it to where no, now you have this much less control. So it wears on you. It ruins that, that
Yeah.
pie of you, you know.
Exactly. I mean, I think I was very blessed in my situation, because, like, in 2018, I had my own pandemic of my car accident, meaning that I was totally shut off from the world because I was bedbound.
Mhm.
I was in a wheelchair. So I had a good, 16 months to really ramp up to the pandemic, which was kind of shitty, because when the pandemic happened, I was walking with a cane, but I was still walking and I could go out, but I couldn't. And but it got me into a better prepared state to handle it, because, like, I think I was like on like my 18th surgery or something stupid like that. I mean, it was crazy amount of surgeries. And
Mhm.
my friends, healthy, able people, and the majority of them were men that were calling me, they're just like, Kinsey, I'm calling to check up on you. And then they're telling me all of their woes and all of their emotional stuff and all of their whatever. And they're like, I never talk about my emotions. How can you do this? And like, I would do like a mini coaching session with them. And they're like, and then they would get off at the end, instead of feeling good about it, they're like, I feel like shit, Kinsey, because I called to check on you. And I'm not even close to going through what you went through. And you're consoling me. But it
Mhm.
prepared me to do that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everything in your
Right.
life, it prepares you. It increases your capacity to hold a lot more. So I was very grateful for my accident. And I know people get all wiggy when I say that. But
Well,
I
all
am.
wiggy, meaning like it's from your point of view, you can say that. From an outsider's point of view, it just sounds terrible. But without being crass, because I would never be that towards you,
Yeah,
there's a silver lining to everything.
of course. It's that
There is.
positive
So
thinking.
yeah. I mean, how much did I lose in my last divorce? I don't know everything, but then I looked back and went, oh wait, I gained this, 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 and this.
Right.
Result. So,
Right. Yeah. Wherever we anchor
yeah.
that energy is where,
Mhm.
you know, that's the trajectory of your life and where you're going to go. If you anchor to
Yep.
everything that, like, I hate the word, and I really hate using the word hate, but I just used it. But um but what is this going to cost me? Because that's what I was very much brought
Mhm.
up with my father. What is this going to cost me? And now I've reframed it. I'm like, what is the investment? And I weigh whether that investment is in my path for
Mhm.
my development, or what I need to do, or, you know, what I feel I
Okay.
need to do. So, you know, not everything's a cost. Everything is an investment. Where do you want to spend your energy investing in
Right.
yourself? A lot of people,
Mhm.
they do not spend time investing in their emotional intelligence. And I think that is what is needed, especially post pandemic, is really learning how to regulate your emotions, you
If
know,
that
and
could be the thesis statement for this show, I would
yeah,
call it that.
yeah.
Figuring out how to deal with that. That is perfect.
Yeah. And that's kind of my wheelhouse. I'm heart math trauma sensitive certified. I'm a practitioner in that. And it's all about emotional intelligence. Not all emotions are bad. It's just a dot on the map to figure out where you need to go. You
Mhm.
know?
And the worst part is that when you're high in emotions and feelings, it's hard to be able to see. I
Yeah.
was trying to explain this to a group when I said, when I went through my divorce, I said, usually I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I said, when I went through that, I couldn't see one, but I knew that I was seeing it incorrectly. So at least I had that wherewithal to be able to see that, right?
Yeah.
So you need to have that that faith that
Yeah.
there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and there are certain steps you might need to take, and some of them are going to be uncomfortable
Of course.
because you may have sat at the bar too long, or you may have sat in your office too long, or you may have been in Los Angeles, sat in your car too long. Who
Right.
knows? But you need to maybe take the time to invest in yourself, to talk to somebody about some of the problems and thinking errors that you might have, and how much that will free you later. Both you and I can't even begin to preach how much happier you are after you can let some of that go.
Exactly. And that
It is
goes
boundless.
completely into seeing your blind spots. Because when we get stressed, or we get angered, or we get worked up, or, you know, we don't have certainty, it creates stress hormones, and that shuts down the function of there's science behind this, my friends. So it's not just you, it's not just whatever.
Mhm.
There is science. Your body just goes into fight or
Mhm.
flight, you know, and it shut down the stuff that it doesn't need. So thinking clearly when you're
You're
stressed
exactly right.
does not
Right,
happen.
and being in fight or flight mode for so long and having it become a normal pattern for you is abhorrently unhealthy.
Well,
It's just going to give you hypertension and headaches and bad sleep, bad temper, the whole thing. It's something that you need to work through and get rid of so that you can act like the person that you used to be.
exactly. And I really like with it's all basically our nervous system. We have,
Mhm.
you know, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. We don't really need to, I'll say, fight and flight and rest and
Mhm.
digest. When we live in this state where we're constantly stressed, our rest and digest, it it atrophies, meaning that it's like a muscle, so you have to
Mhm. It
reactivate
does.
it. And it's going to feel uncomfortable, and that's
Just like
okay.
working out for the first time in 6
Yeah,
months, you're like, "Oh,
it's
oh,
okay.
I didn't know I had pectoral muscles. Oh my god, this hurts so
I
bad."
know,
But
because a
it
lot of
is going
a lot of
to
my
hurt, but
clients,
you gotta work through it. Just like
a
what
lot
you
of my
said, it's like going to the gym, you gotta work through it.
yeah, and a lot of my clients are like, "This just doesn't feel comfortable." I go, "I know.
Yeah,
Congratulations." Congratulations.
Yep, exactly. Well said. Congratulations. It feels like shit. Let's keep going.
Yes.
You want to dig
Because
this
I'm
fucking
all
hole?
about
Your hands are
celebration.
going to hurt.
Woo!
Okay? Yeah. We'll drink to that. It's only tea.
Yes, yes.
Boring.
I know. At least I can talk this week, so I'm happy about that. My allergies were so bad, I couldn't communicate if I wanted to.
You don't have that you don't have that Stevie Nicks voice going on.
I don't have that. No.
This is Kinsey Shae.
Kinsey Shae.
I'm here with Bobby Merwin. We're going to talk about feelings today.
Oh my God.
Literally would hang up. Where's the hang up button? What do I do? How do I do this?
It's a
Kinsey,
dude, my friends. It's a dude.
Mm-hmm. For a dude, I got great makeup.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Good.
just with this meme.
Checking your drink. I'm checking your drink.
I know. I swear it's tea. I just really wanted to we all have feelings. We might have, is just very significant of how we were programmed, in that vital stage 0 to 7, what we were taught, the biases, the beliefs, and whatever. There is a way to see the light at the end of the tunnel is just having awareness, a new perspective. And that is like why we are doing this, is to really have fun and just to kind of, that we don't want it to be like, this is da, 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 da. You know what I mean? We want this to be entertaining, but also to have a different perspective and kind of feel good in your own skin, meaning that you're not alone. You're not alone in this.
No, you're not alone. Nope.
You're not.
And it's so hard to convince people of that, because even when you have them one-on-one in an office or in a telesession or whatever, and they've got all of the comforts around them, and they just feel like the world is closing in, it's like, hold on, I'm right here. Yeah. I'm right here. I'm still with you. Let's do this. But yeah, we'll look at a few more memes later, or memes, whatever you want to call them. Whatever makes you comfortable. Because I know you have feelings and I don't want to hurt them.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. Memes. I'm taking that with me. We're gonna do a mem show next week. That's gonna be awesome.
I know it.
Memes and beverages. That's right. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, you're dealing with terrible allergies. I'm on the other side of the United States from you. The sun came out for 27 minutes the other day, and everything on God's green earth went.
Yep.
And just into the air. It was amazing. One day went by difference here, and I'm like, I was fine yesterday. And now my voice is like raspy, and I keep clearing my throat, and I'm like, I didn't do anything different. So
no, it's the pollen.
Yeah. Good old tree sperm.
Yep.
Got a lot of that. That old tree semen there floating around.
So we're coming up on time. So
yes, we are.
Everybody like, subscribe, do all that fun jazz. We really would encourage you to put suggestions, because we're doing this for you. We're doing this
we are.
to create a perspective, to change perspectives, because being in a fixed perspective your whole life, don't see the possibilities that you are giving up in your journey. And that's correct. And with coaching, with counseling, the whole purpose is to see new possibilities. We're very similar in respect. So having emotional intelligence and learning how to communicate to yourself is just as important of communicating with others. So that's kind of like what we've talked about. Yeah. So like, subscribe, put your stuff on the, put all, this is not a monologue or a duologue. It's a
bio. It's a biolog. No, we want to know, that kind of sounded dirty. We want to know what you want to hear, because there's a lot of experience that is behind these microphones and these cameras that is trying to help on a broad spectrum. You and I, help people individually. We help people in small groups, but we're trying to do this on a very larger scale and basically give it away, because that's what we do and that's what we like doing. Because I like doing this with you, but I also like to be able to think and believe that something that we said somewhere is going to help somebody.
Yeah, if it helps one person, that makes my heart happy. Because if I didn't have people shine their light in my darkness, in my time of need, I would not be here. So this is our way of kind of giving back.
It is.
Yeah. And it just makes it, I'll speak for me, it just makes my heart sing. It makes my heart happy to do stuff like this, because there was a time where I was very much, I felt broken. I don't believe in that statement, but at that time I felt broken.
Oh, sure. I know the song that you're singing, because I think 25 years ago when I went to my first counselor, I think that truly changed my life, because the level of guidance that I had previous to that was very low. And not everybody has the opportunity to have uncles or grandparents or anything like that. I mean, I lost my mom very early, and my dad and I just kind of went our separate ways for a long time. So the amount of guidance that I had to become a young man was very minimal. And there are others out there like me that have had that. So don't think that you're alone. You can make it. You can go see somebody. You can persevere. So
doesn't mean you're
and we love doing this. I mean, we cut time out of our week to do this because we love to do this. Sometimes we can't even match up on days. Sometimes somebody doesn't show up. Maybe sometimes it's me, maybe sometimes it's you. But sometimes it just happens. And it does. No, seriously,
life experiences. We text each other, we're like, oh shit.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that does happen. And you and I have both done it. Like, oh God, okay, so I gotta go to a bar mitzvah. I need to leave. No, I'm just joking. A circus, whatever. I gotta go to a show. No, it's usually something to do with either clients or children for me. So, and for you lately, it's been allergies.
It's been allergies. Yeah, last week I totally lost my voice.
Yes.
Yeah, so
we should have done the show then.
I know, it would have been horrible. I would have been like nodding everywhere.
I should have called you just to see how you sounded.
Oh my God.
I should have said, oh, we need to do this show. Yes, please. You sound amazing.
It was horrible. It was horrible. So you are not alone in that front either. If you're having like big pollen dust reaction. That
sounded so terrible. Are you having a big pollen day? Are you? Is it sad? Is it a big pollen day? Big pollen day.
I know.
Okay, that's a good one to end on right there. The big.
I know it.
Day.
So
God.
Thank you for joining us. And remember, like, subscribe, do all that fun jazz. And our info's down below if you want to reach out to us. And we will see you next week, and we'll have some more fun with some memes. Memes. I'm being a smart ass.
The memes. Yes.
The memes.
It's smart off, by the way. Yes.
I know.
Yes, more memes.
So we will see you next week.
Yep. All right. Bye, everybody. See you.